Okay, welcome to Pat's Cast, the unofficial Regina Pats podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
We're a proud member of the Saskatchewan Podcast Network, and this is our episode for October 27th, 2019.
Pats break out on right wing, gaining the offensive line. Dubinsky drags to his legs to the side of the net, stopped by McNutt. Rebound, scores! Nikita Selov's first career Western Hockey League goal comes outside at Mosaic Stadium, and we're tied at 4. Side, he'll go get it below the Calgary goal line. Centers again, great chance, and they score! Robbie Holmes!
So we are live streaming on Twitter tonight. We're trying to get YouTube going. Now, we did work on it. I think we should be able to see your messages as they come in, so Amanda, if you're listening right now, can you send us a test message? That would be awesome. And for future reference, anyone that does want to listen to us live, maybe we'll get a little bit more of alerts out there going into it. But we're still in the infancy stages, so it's a bit more of a soft open, we'll call it. Just getting all these things worked on. You'll take note of the new studio digs. I think quite proud of that. We got some of our memorabilia up behind us. Got our Aussie Weisblatt. We got some bobbleheads. So as bobbleheads come out, it'll be great.
Yeah, looks good. We'll be getting a new one soon here.
Yes, got one coming up here pretty quick, hey?
Yeah. I see a little homage to Calgary.
Yeah, had to put that on. I actually got that at the fan breakfast, the Memorial Cup fan breakfast. I still had it, and I thought, might as well put it up for today's game. I guess getting into that, today's game, the one game to talk about, one game, but quite a weekend for us. It really turned into a very, very memorable weekend, quite enjoyable. But why don't let's do the Pats stuff first, and then we'll get into our story a little bit later. And I think it's a good story. It's certainly a weekend I'll always remember, and be fun to share that with you guys. I guess overall, how I guess you could talk about the setting of this game and the game.
Yeah, there's a couple different angles at this. But setting was great. The weather was pretty good. You know, didn't have any issues with the sun or, heavy snow.
It was a little cool.
It was a little cool, yeah, for us
Today's
anyways.
was, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not February. It's not -30. It was, what, -6, -7. Not terrible.
I guess after Friday being so nice, it almost would have been too nice.
Almost, yeah. You could have went to the game in shorts.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have brought the experience.
No,
for a fan to
you
go to the hockey game in shorts outside.
Yeah, I agree. So picturesque on TV. A little frustrating. This game wasn't televised. Kind of just to get on that.
Yeah, that's a
missed
opportunity, I think.
I thought so too. It was on WHL Live if you want to re-watch it, but it wasn't on Sportsnet or even Access for that matter. Yeah, I was a little disappointed we didn't see anything like that. We're getting our first message in. It says, looks good. Thanks for that. I'm glad we look good. Anyway, I was disappointed it wasn't televised. It is on WHL Live. We checked to make sure it was. So I don't know. It kind of felt a little bit similar to last night. Maybe not as much, but it was. It's such a different setting. It was hard to watch and really be into the game, I found. I don't know if you felt that way, maybe because we were there last night and we got to see the whole setup, that this was a little bit easier, but I still found, and maybe a little bit was the distance too.
Yeah, you're not so engaged, right?
Yeah.
You don't hear the players maybe as much. It's sometimes tough to read the numbers, who's who exactly out there.
I did like the contrast with these reds and the white numbering, but I agree. Yeah, there were times where, and I need new glasses and content, so my prescription's a little bit off, and I was squinting, trying to say, who was that?
It's for sure. Like, especially the Saturday night was a little tougher.
Yeah. Fan of the red jerseys. Should others markets try this? From Moncton. Did you like them?
Wasn't my most favorite jersey, but I did mind them.
I just didn't know what they were inspired by.
Yeah.
I personally really like that collegiate look of simple color with a diagonal lettering or something like that. So personally, I really like it, but I can see why the color doesn't match anything.
Well,
but we were talking.
We do have red.
Yeah, but it was like this is a different
Yeah.
red. But I thought, well, maybe they could have made it more like the maroon, but that maroon was maroon for the 100th anniversary. You couldn't
don't
couldn't
go back to
infringe
that.
on that.
Yeah. It was because they did the PPCLI jersey that went off.
Yeah.
Which I was a little.
But that was all
disappointed.
kind of that centennial year.
Yeah, so I guess they just want to go with the maroon again, but had to have the 2 maroon jerseys 2 years ago there. I was like, maybe could have went with something different, but just because they were so similar.
Yeah, I just don't know what they were inspired by.
They looked fine. I liked them.
Yeah, they looked fine. Yeah, I liked them. I just, again, the red was a little different.
Well, we haven't had red since the new owners came in because they ditched the old red.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people like those jerseys a lot.
I personally, I love this. This is my favorite. I actually got a comment at it from I wore it to the NHL game. I got a comment from a Winnipeg fan because actually theirs is strikingly similar.
Well, yeah,
we were walking around and look at all these. It's
Winnipeg
Jets fans that
Line played for the Pats.
Yeah.
What?
More. Oh, look at all these guys. Yeah. No.
They were exactly the same.
Remarkably similar. Yeah. Especially this heritage one. They went with a darker blue, very similar to that.
Yeah.
Getting back to what we were saying, the game I found it a little bit, again, distracting to follow, and just that distance, and so it's a little bit harder to get really into it and analyze it too much. But overall, the game itself, a little bit sloppy on our end. I think even getting to overtime and stealing a point was beneficial for us because what was the shot total?
Oh, it was 45 to
something
30,
something crazy.
Yeah.
We made some bad mistakes. We were giving up shorthanded breakaways. We gave up a shorthanded goal. Our power play looked pretty poor for a good part of it.
I mean, and you can't read too much into this game and play-wise because, you got those elements. You got the ice. Mind you, everybody said the ice was good, but you get the snow build-up more than normal, so there is those extra factors. So you can't...
I think there is. You're right.
But, yeah.
But both teams were playing on it.
That's true. Yeah.
So... I was happy to get the point. I think,
especially against Calgary,
to score 4 goals against them
is good.
That's really good. Had to come back. How about Setoff getting his first goal as a Regina Pat?
Yeah,
on a nice stage like that. It was a bit of a greasy goal. Dubinsky had a nice little move there,
but he went to the net and picked up a rebound. It wasn't the most.
I think most of our goals were kind of greasy, were they not? We had Pratt's first goal.
Yeah. The Holmes goal was nice, though. Pratt had a nice centering pass.
Holmes goal was a nice goal. It was a pass, a centering pass. That was good. Nyhoff's goal, kind of greasy.
Yeah, just another rebound goal.
And then set-offs. But those are the goals our team's going to score.
Yes.
Max Paddock was, did he get first star?
Yeah, he did. I don't know.
Maybe a bit of a homer call, but he played well. He had a lot of rubber at him.
Yeah,
so
it was for sure. But when you give up 5 goals, it's like, is he really the first star of the game? But
yeah, I was a little disappointed in the overtime goal. I thought Pratt took himself out of position by going behind the net like that. He got caught up with the goalie. He did eventually kind of get back, but he was kind of
that was kind of just a tough play
because he went behind for the player and the goaltender was there too.
Well,
ended up taking out the goaltender.
Yeah, he fell down, right? And then
Pratt was way behind, so it was a 3-on-2, and subsequently they scored on that. But hey, to get into overtime, the 2 games in a row now we've got points.
Yeah.
So
we'll take that, I guess.
From the season we've been having, 2 games in a row capturing points. That's good, and did have a week off going into this, so they were well rested, and it was kind of a weird weekend not playing any other games than that.
Yeah, and Calgary played last night in Moose Jaw.
Mm-hmm.
I know. So on Dub Network, we have a kind of a pick 'em. You pick one game every weekend, and everybody was picking kind of the same game. I can't remember what it was, and then somebody's like, "Oh, I'll take Calgary or Regina," and I was like, "Well, it is that the outdoor game, and Regina might have some extra juice and all this." And yeah, he was like, "Oh yeah, maybe not. Maybe I'll pick another game, right?"
Yeah.
And I go, lots of guys were jumping on the PG bandwagon, picking against them.
Oh yeah.
Well, they just beat Vancouver again today. So
Yeah.
anybody that picked that game was SOL. So
Yeah.
but yeah, it's
Yeah, I wouldn't bet money on any outdoor game.
yeah.
It just could be it's just such an odd factor into it. I would steer clear of that personally.
Yeah. And you've seen it. Regina, we score 30 seconds into the game, they tied up, we take the lead again. We had, then we came back. We had, first goals. We had a goal within the first couple minutes of each period, which is nice.
Yes.
But we were giving up goals.
That is something we've done this year is we've got some early goals.
Yeah.
Quick. So I don't know. They must, and usually I'm going to say usually, but it seems like Pratt's involved in it.
Yeah.
In those early goals.
Yeah.
He had a nice game today too. I was just watching him. He stands out with this team. I would say he's easily not easily. He's up there as one of our better players. He's a difference maker.
Yeah.
And he was in this
definitely.
game too.
And speaking of Pratt, so there's an interview after the game. I'm going to play that one right now, and he'll talk about kind of maybe what not only being the outdoor game, but there's something with Calgary that gets them up for these games.
Sure.
Yeah, that was really cool. Taking it on warm-ups was definitely something special. So it was nice to get that first one out of the way and try to roll from there and get a good start. What was surreal? I mean, you watch it every year on TV, many games like this. Just hoping you'd ever get the chance to be in one of these, and now the time's come that we got to be in it. It's something that I don't think it'll hit me until a couple days after how cool this is. I think I'm still taking it all in, but no, it's super special. I didn't notice it at all, to be honest. Like the ice was great, the staff did an amazing job. No, I wasn't any complaints from me. I mean, I love it. I love being out in this environment. I think there's a little bit of bad blood between the two teams rolling over from last year, so I think the rivalry is just going to get going from here. It's going to be more chippy every game. I think it was a little less chippy than what it could have been indoors for sure.
Good, so a little windy there. You
Yeah.
actually got to go out on the ice and interview these guys. That's kind of a neat opportunity for you.
Yeah, I had no idea. It was just everybody just started heading out towards the ice. The players just didn't want to leave the ice, and so we did the interviews right there.
Yeah, and that's you could kind of hear what he was saying was just the experience was good. I'm happy for them. I'm happy they did this. It just really worked out well between the two organizations and leagues, I guess. And the attendance was fairly good for this. They said just over 15,000. I think at the start of the game that probably wasn't far off, but it was a cooler game. There was lots of kids.
Yeah, it definitely dwindled.
It quickly dwindled, and I don't blame
Blame anybody. No.
I'm applaud everyone for coming out because it would have been easy just to I'm not gonna sit outside.
Yeah, and I think they gave away some tickets to like hocky teams and stuff.
Absolutely,
there's
it's totally
nothing wrong
fine.
with that.
Yeah, because you want
kids to have that.
and you want a
opportunity.
little bit of an atmosphere.
Yeah.
Right. If it was started off as low as it ended up in the end,
Yeah.
it would have been kind of chintzy looking. But no, at the start of the game, it was fairly full. I mean, it's a big stadium, right? And even the lower bowl holds a ton
lot
of people. So
Yeah.
it maybe didn't look great just with all the empties, but
Yeah,
it was a good show.
No, it was good.
Yeah. Yeah, in terms of what Pratt said, I don't know where this chippiness he's talking about came from.
I
don't remember that last
year. Yeah, like I don't know if maybe something happened in Calgary you didn't see or what, but obviously there's
I
some
don't know.
bad
I mean,
blood there. So
there's maybe a little bit. I mean, Alan just got there. I don't know if he would have brought
well,
something.
Maybe Wu. I don't know because
Oh,
he's really
yes.
stirring it up right now. He's in Calgary.
Anywhere Wu goes,
Yeah, But I mean, he wasn't in the center of it. It seemed like Nyhoff was in the center of everything. He was in the net.
He was in the net, yeah.
Twice at least.
Scores a goal, and he was in the goal a few times.
So
yeah. I guess we'll see. One of the things we noticed in that Red Deer game too is a little bit chippy. So it's like teams that we're not normally don't have that history with.
yeah, we only play 4 times a year, right? So it's tough to build that. Sometimes it's tough to build that that rivalry.
So you also had a chance to speak with Max.
That
we alluded to his first star, had a fairly good game.
It's his first game back, right?
Yes, so he's been gone for a bit. So why don't you cue that up and listen to that?
It was pretty surreal coming out here at Mosaic in front of 15,000 people. Is an experience I'll remember for the rest of my life. Was just like being a kid again, I think. You come to the rink, you're super excited. You don't care what the weather's going to be like. You're just there to play hockey and enjoy the moment. But yeah, it's just awesome experience. Yeah, I mean, they're a good team. They're a really good hockey team. I thought that we had our moments where we had them in their own end, and then they had ours. They had us in our end too. So we battled hard. We got 1 point, which is a positive, but we would like to come out with 2 points. No, I think it still needed a bit of time to process it. Throughout the game, I had to pinch myself a little bit, because you're playing in such a different environment. But like I said, I'll remember it for the rest of my life.
Good, yeah. Seems to reflect kind of what we were saying. Glad to have him back. We've said a few times he has to be our best player. I don't know. I mean, you could look at 5 goals as not being the best, but there were some breakdowns in this game, team-wise.
Yeah, definitely. Like even the one breakaway we gave up, it was 5-on-5, but Cole was the guy back. Like he was the guy chasing. Like where's the 2D man? Like I didn't process that play very well. All of a sudden they're on a breakaway, and I'm like, what happened? Like, so
yeah,
but he's if he gets back and healthy and consistent here, he'll help us out a lot.
We saw that last year too. The first half of the season, he was off
definitely,
and then really picked it up in that second half. Hopefully he can get back to that a little sooner than the second half. But we filled some we made some goaltender changes, which we can get to later. I do want to hear you had a chance to speak to Strush after this game.
Strush as well.
So if you could play that for us here. I noticed on the bench he started off without any headgear. I don't know what he was trying to pull, but then on TV I saw the interview, he had a big toque on.
He put a toque on. He said, it wasn't that cold out there.
Oh, but, he was. He looked cold. Anyway, let's hear from Strush.
No, it wasn't cold. It wasn't cold. It was really good. I mean, the heaters were going, but we were in it like the players, I think, a little bit. You've seen us on the bench. There's a lot of action for us. So it wasn't that bad. I think the experience itself for the fans, for me as a kid, my hair is still standing on end right now. So the emotion that goes through you from playing outdoors when you're a young kid, carrying over to something like this and building like this, and the game that we played really well today. We played against a real top team in Canada. So for us, the whole experience, the snow falling, we couldn't have asked for anything more other than the win. Really, we talked about it before the game. We can go back to a 3-0 loss to Moose Jaw 6 games ago. This being the 7th game, we've played the same way, and we've had success in all 7 games outside of the wins, right? So Red Deer was a win. It was a good step for us. This game here against the top team was really important for us to see us come back from, stay consistent. So in a season like we're having here, to be resilient like these guys were today and stick with it and fight back into it was really important this weekend.
Despite the loss, do you think these kids will look back fondly on this?
They better. If my hair is still standing on end, it better be for them. The age of 16 to 20 years old, if you don't feel that kind of emotion playing outdoors, and if you were to take these walls, these seats away, and you put this out in some field somewhere, what more could you ask for?
I think Austin.
Well, I think it was really good that it started at 2 o'clock. to think about it and all the build-up. If it was an evening game, it would have given us too much time to think about it. So for us to get out here, get it started, no delays with anything. The start of the game, the puck dropped, everything happened really quick. And obviously we got off to a really good start, lots of energy, gave the building some energy. We've seen it full with Rider games, so for us to experience that as players during a hockey game is really special. Things right, the way we've talked about our owners always wanting to give back to the community and the stuff that they're willing to do for the city of Regina. This is a great example of it. They've done a wonderful job. Guys like Gord Pritchard in the front office, who has spent the last month every night 24/7 to create something like this and to see it executed as well as it was, it's another feather in the cap for the Pats organization and the ownership.
Awesome. It's kind of cool hearing him talk about. Sometimes I find guys can kind of downplay it, but he really just admitted it. He said this was an awesome experience. I felt like a kid. I'm still excited, and that's kind of refreshing to hear, rather than
just another game out there.
Yeah, because sometimes you might think they'll say, "Oh, it's just another game. We got to go out and do our
Get the
business."
2 points. Yeah.
But he realized these are kids.
Yeah.
They're gonna get excited. And it sounded like he let them maybe have some fun, or kind of feed into that energy, or acknowledge it at least, and even acknowledge his own energy and excitement over it.
I was wanted to ask him a couple questions, but it was kind of getting long, and they were lining up for pictures, and so he went over. But I was kind of curious if, not the game plan, but maybe they had some different thoughts on this game. Maybe just more shots in the net, and if they're rolling the lines more often, keep guys warm, keep the legs moving, stuff like that. But never did get a chance. There's lots of people in the scrum today. It was global, it was CTV. It was
probably a few extra people.
Yeah, it was a few extra people. Usually it's just me and Greg Carter, and we just have whatever. We just have at it, right? No problems. But today it was quite busy. So, but
good experience overall. Hey?
Yeah, and the last point there, it's this ownership group is willing to do whatever.
Yes.
For the fans.
They were almost ready to pull the trigger on that one earlier.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago. Can you imagine them putting up? Oof.
Right. That's why that's why the tickets were so much, and maybe that's why it didn't go, because and it wasn't going to be in February.
Yeah.
So
I mean, look, the temperature today wasn't awesome, but it wasn't bad.
No.
And it was, even I was sitting there, I was like, this isn't that comfortable. I wouldn't want to be out here in February doing this. So
yeah, like that very first one, I think, Calgary Edmonton, wasn't it like minus 30?
Was it that cold?
It was chilly.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah.
So.
But the snow, it's kind of a neat atmosphere.
Yes.
Snow and a little bit cold, and it was like playing as kids.
Yeah, you just go out there until your feet are frozen, and then it's time to go home. Yeah.
I mean, and he said it too. Overall, that was a good team that came in, got a point out of it.
Yeah.
Really, and that was a good outcome in my opinion. Because Calgary, well, you've picked them to win preseason. You picked them to win the.
Yeah, you knew they were going to be one of the better teams of the Dubs.
They're a good team.
And sure, you made it to overtime, but that there's always that chance to win it. You would have liked to win that game. It was winnable, but
it's true.
But we get one.
Once you get to overtime, it's
anybody's game.
Yeah, anything can happen. You can get an easy 2-on-1 or breakaway. And
well, both games went to overtime, so a little bit of exciting finishes.
So I alluded to it a little bit earlier. There's some roster moves we want to just touch on here.
Yeah.
So we signed Zach Smith, 18-year-old, from Melfort for SJ. He's put up 6 goals, 14 points in 15 games with them this year. Happens to be the, is it younger or older? Must be younger brother of Ty Smith. Out of Spokane.
Some good bloodlines there, so maybe we can tap into that.
Yeah.
And that's probably why we moved on from Allen.
Yeah. So
I liked his game. He just didn't put up any points for us,
He didn't. So
I didn't mind his work ethic, stuff like that. He was usually...
He wasn't... And on this team, he didn't stand out as anything.
No.
A liability or anything.
Yeah, no. But he did stand out to me for his effort and stuff like that. So I did...
Positively?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So to move on from him, it is what it is. Like it's not a game breaker, team breaking. So
he was traded to Calgary.
at least he still got to experience the game.
It's kind of funny, hey? Like
to get traded, and then it's like
a few days before an outdoor game, but you get traded to the team we're playing. So you still
worked out
win-win, buddy.
Yeah.
And he won.
Yeah.
So we got a 2020 eighth round pick back for him. So there's a condition could be upgraded to a seventh round.
Yeah. So probably if he plays a certain amount of games, I'd think.
Yeah. So it feels like that was freed up room for Zach Smith to come in.
So when that happened, I thought, maybe Paulus will get called up because he looked good in the preseason.
That's a good thought.
He's been doing okay in Humboldt, but no, they pick up another guy. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And he was in the roster tonight, was he not?
Yeah, he played tonight on the fourth line with Stanek and Englot. He centered them.
Okay. And then goaltender-wise, they have signed Spencer Welke. He played with the Prince Albert Mintos. He is 17 years old. 10 games, record of 5-3 with a 2.15 goals against average. Another goaltender move is trading Matthew Presente over to Prince Albert for Donovan Buskey. So Buskey is 19. Creates a little bit of a...
Yeah.
We just kind of solved that problem, didn't we? Getting rid of a 19-year-old.
Yeah, so, I mean...
I don't think 19.
I don't think they were too impressed with Presente. So moving on from him, which is fine. And so Buskey's got some more experience. He's got some, I don't know, what is it, like 30-some games of experience in the WHL already?
37.
37, yeah. Okay.
Going 19-13 with a 3.4 GAA.
Yeah. Nothing spectacular, but, I mean, I think they'll take that over Presente, and you trade him straight up, right?
Yeah.
So we'll take that. And I think then the Welke signing is kind of for next year. I think he's possibility to back up maybe next year, right?
Yeah. Kind of, again, you're not going to have two 20-year-old goaltenders.
Yeah, but I think next year they'll just move on from Buskey, right? I think, or maybe they trade Paddock, right?
True. Down the.
You never know.
Yeah.
You know, it's really been a little disaster, this whole goaltending situation a bit, right?
A lot of moves, yeah.
And if they would have held on to McNabb, it would have been maybe a little better. But they moved him before the season started because of that condition on that trade. So they moved on thinking Paddock should be good to go, and we've had our issues.
Yeah.
And so and they couldn't keep calling keeper up. You got to let him play and develop.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's maybe maybe he might have a chance to back up next year, but I think see how this Welke turns out. He could be the backup next year. Let keeper develop some more, and then if you do need him, he's available whenever you would need, right?
And Buskey's from Trail. Shout out to Trail, my old
he's from Trail.
Oh, sorry, he was playing in Trail.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, playing with the Smokies.
So when I was reading, I kind of dug into that a little bit, and so they brought him in, and they wanted him to be their guy for the year, and he said he was interested in being there.
Yeah.
And then this happened, and I read the quote from the coach. He was not impressed.
Oh, really?
That he left.
Huh.
So.
Well, everyone wants out of Trail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the moose jaw of the Coonies.
Ooh. Thanks.
Okay, let's move on. We're going to do a little trivia. Back to my trivia this week. I wanted to... So we had the winter, or sort of the Heritage Classic here. And it's not so much trivia as maybe just a fact. So the other major league teams to play on our football field in Regina. So there's a few. If you can get one of them, you'll get your gold star. But while you're thinking of that, I'll do our little read here for Connexus. Wellness, however you define it, is achievable. You don't even need to figure it all out yourself. Talk to Connexus. They'll give you guidance, motivation, and the push you need to reach your goals. They've got you. They're your financial partner, and they know how you can achieve your very best, your financial best. Prove them right. Start right at Connexus Credit Union. So the other major league teams to play on a football field in Regina. Of course, you have the Blue Jays were here. Now, you remember, and I remember, the 93. So they were also here in 89. May 11th, 1989, they played the National Baseball Institute Blues in front of 25,696 fans. Right?
Okay.
May 3rd, 93, they were here, played the same NBI Blues. That was in front of 26,213 fans. It's a lot of people for a pretty... So to give you an idea of you're probably thinking, how the hell do you play baseball on a football
for
field?
younger listeners here.
So they set it up. I saw a picture. It was kind of in your, I guess, one of the corners. I saw the one picture from the 89 game there on the 10-yard line, the corner.
Home plate.
Left field wall. How far do you think it was?
It's only 175 feet?
300 feet.
300 feet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's...
But they were hitting dingers over.
Yeah, no, I thought it was really short.
Yeah, 300's
not bad.
Not horrid. But
what's the Jay Stadium like? It's not. It's one of the smaller ones.
Yeah. Then some people might be, if you're a footy fan, you might be yelling at me saying, "Oh, there was one last year or the year before," and there was the New York Cosmos of the North American Soccer League, something like that. So not MSL, but probably professional. They're probably getting paid a few bucks.
It's stepped down from MLS.
Played the Valencia team out of Italy?
Spain.
15,000 fans that drew.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that was a big deal because a team coming over from Europe.
Yeah. So similar to the amount of people today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so that is the trivia for this week. Now let's get into our story. So coming into when this Heritage Classic was announced, I assumed tickets would be expensive. We were right. What were they starting at?
150 for Pillzone?
For Pillzone.
I think.
And that's something we didn't talk about with sightlines. Sightlines where we sat for the Pats game were bearable.
Yeah.
We were in row 27. But again, you're still a long ways away.
Yeah.
We had a good kind of trajectory sightline, but the distance was a long ways. That was probably one of the better seats you could get.
Yeah, we're basically in the neutral zone, red line, blue line.
Yeah. That height at least, right? 27 rows up. I wouldn't want to be too much lower.
No, definitely not, right?
So, yeah, when this game was announced, I didn't really feel like shelling out the money. I'm a junior hockey fan. I don't go to NHL. I always, we promote the Pats and what junior hockey is, so it wasn't really something I was hell-bent on going. But I'll be honest, as it got a little closer and I started seeing some of the fanfare, I thought, oh man,
excitement started to build.
Yeah, is this something I'm going to regret not going to? And I don't know, I was keeping an eye on the ticket sites here and there, and you'd see the odd one. You could get one for about $100, and I thought, I don't know. The weather wasn't awesome either. I don't know if I want to go spend $100 because a game, like we were saying, the factor, it could be a dud, right? It could be ugly, and it could.
You're not going to these games for the game, right?
For the hockey.
For the hockey game.
Yeah.
Like the actual hockey on the ice. You're going for more of the experience, the excitement, the party per se.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm not a big partier. I would like to go see a game sometime, maybe to see the skill, because when you watch it on TV, you watch so much junior hockey, and you watch NHL, you're like, oh,
yeah,
that's the difference. And I knew you probably wouldn't see it here just because of the venue, but so yeah. But regardless, it was getting a little closer. And I was like, it's kind of something I'd be interested in going to, but I don't know if I can justify the money. We bought a new vehicle, and Connexus is helping us out and getting us financially wise.
Yeah.
Making our bet.
Watch that. Spending.
Yeah. So
is it a want or a need?
Yeah, exactly. This was definitely a want and not a need. So last weekend and into earlier this week, you had messaged me saying, "Oh, because you work at a car dealership who promotes SiriusXM, and SiriusXM was a major sponsor of this game." And you got a kind of a trade invite to for SiriusXM for distributors.
Yeah, so they're putting on the show, Steve Coolius and Matthew Barnaby, their power play show on SiriusXM, they're doing it at the Hotel Sask. So it was like, oh, come check it out, and then you can stick around and watch the game there. And we're like, well, we'll go down there and check it out. And
I didn't plan on
staying
because we went there at 4. I'm like, game doesn't start. I'm not sitting here for 7 hours.
Yeah. No, we'll go check it out, and then we'll go back to your place and watch the
Yeah,
game.
exactly. I mean, that's what we planned to do the whole time. We had pizza and stuff
quite a
ready
few
to go.
people from work were planning to go, so all right, we'll mingle with the work people.
But even then, it was kind of a, we'll go if it, maybe we'll show up. And I said, does your girlfriend want to go? And she was like, So I was like, okay, I'll go. We'll see how it is. So we were one of the first ones there, and it's an open bar.
Okay, that's cool.
It's warming us up a little bit. And they had some food, not a lot. So we're like, we'll just have a couple of drinks, enough to tide you over. The setup was nice, and it was kind of from our standpoint, and all this shit we got here, there's gear and wires and stuff. So there's they had a lot of gear and wires, and it's kind of interesting to see them doing a live broadcast and all their stuff. And so we sat and watched, and you got Matthew Barnaby there and Lanny McDonald, and they interviewed him for a while, and Jamie McLennan, and Sheepdogs. Like, we were like, that's kind of neat sitting around. I was contemplating having a couple adult beverages, and your girlfriend on her way to my house to pick us up, and she was leaving, and like, should we ask her? And
we're still having fun.
It's okay. It's a little bit. It's okay. It's kind of cool. There's lots. It's kind of filling up, and then. It was actually, I kind of got into the broadcast actually watching them.
Yeah.
It kind of became interesting. They were talking a fair bit. And at one point they said, we got 10 tickets to give away. And I thought, a lot of people here, it looked like they had tickets, right? I don't know how exclusive this event was, because there was people.
I think they were just walking in.
Yeah, they were just walking in, but you couldn't get the drinks without your little Sirius wristband. So I don't think they were keeping people out of watching it, but to get the drinks, you had to be on the invitee list.
I don't know. If you were in the room, I think you were getting drinks.
Yeah.
I don't think they really checked that hard. Nobody really asked for my wristband, so.
No, they didn't.
I think it's just one of those things. We're just putting it on, and it's invite only, quote unquote.
Yeah, and at one point we could see the Jets leaving. They were staying there, so we walked over, and there's
Paul Maurice,
and Mark Sheffley walks by, and Kyle Connor, and the Flames. I now we didn't see many of the other Flames, but I'm 99% sure it was Milan Lucic that I just ran into going around a corner.
Yeah, I'm sure
we were ready to throw down. I talked him. He ran away, but anyway, so kind of cool, right?
Yeah, I think that hotel was just all booked just for the NHL. Right?
Like it had the signage all
banners,
over and stuff, and so I saw the players go by, and I was like, it's kind of cool to see. And we come back, and I won't get into maybe the whole story how we got the tickets, but it's pretty quick. We won't get into it. Steve Koulis he said, whoever can stump me on a Conn Smythe winner can win these tickets.
Yeah,
and it's like first people couple ask, and he's just like sniping him. He's
one,
not
2, 3, 4.
Yeah, he knew them. No one's gonna get him on this.
Matthew Barnaby's like, hey, we're supposed to be giving away these tickets.
Yeah.
We got to do something to give away these tickets.
So they eventually just said, well, whoever asked, you get tickets.
The first 3 people that asked.
And
so there's 6 tickets gone.
Oh shit, there's tickets are going quick here.
And I said, stump Steve Koulis, I got my own question. And then they said, no, we run the show here.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right,
you do a podcast for nobodies. We're on SiriusXM. You're not running our show here, bud. Not that you guys are nobodies, but you know what I mean. Anyways, so now I got a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, because they're down to 4 tickets.
There's not many tickets left, and they're kind of now trying to give them away. And I figured if you can kind of just be loud and
we're getting these tickets. Yeah,
you can not force your way on it, but get your voice heard.
Yeah.
So our being junior hockey fans, we wanted to ask, who did Matthew Barnaby play junior hockey for? So he took the question and asked it to the crowd, and I'm like, well, I asked the question. I have it right in front of me. So we answered it, and he played for 3 teams on the queue. One was Oh, I can't even remember now. The
He ended with
Hard
Victoriaville.
Fangs.
Yeah.
Hard Fang.
Yeah, they're no longer. I don't even know if they
No.
morphed into another team or what, but
So, long and short, they were just looked like they were trying to give away these tickets. So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
ended up with 2 tickets to the Heritage Classic. And before, when they announced they had tickets, I said, "Do you want to go if we get tickets?" And you're like,
I'm being an idiot because
I don't know why.
Yeah. No,
But
I know.
I don't know why you
Because
didn't.
I would just not resign to the fact, but I was just like you, like I don't know, I don't want to spend the money, and,
Right.
and I was
These
already
are-
like, but they were free, yeah,
And
that's,
honestly, for free tickets, I expected like 600
yeah.
back row. So we get these tickets, and I look at the face value. I'm like, $450? Like, what
Whoa.
is this? How much were these tickets going for? And I didn't really look at cost of tickets going like through the whole event. So I thought, well, maybe they were this much. I don't know. And
And then it said AGT Lounge, so I'm like looking on my phone, and I'm like, okay, well we're sitting outside. Our
Yeah.
ticket is outside,
Yeah.
but it's just outside that lounge. I'm like, okay, well these are good tickets. These are great seats,
right, they're
Great.
300 levels. So I thought, yeah, those
Yeah.
are kind of like
just above.
clubbish.
Yeah, just
Like,
above
I've
the
been to
concourse.
rider games, and yeah, an AGT lounge is kind of, yeah, okay, all right. So we'll be inside, and it's a little bit. You get maybe a separate bathroom and the food stand, right?
Yeah, I didn't even at first. I didn't think we were going to be inside. I thought we were just outside, in front of the lounge. I didn't
Right.
realize that those tickets included the inside.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we
So
roll
we-
in.
Well, first we can talk about the debacle of the security. So rider games, WHL games, obviously, pretty lax compared to this. They had metal detectors, and everyone's bundled
Dogs.
up, and drug or bomb
dog.
sniffing dogs.
Yeah.
I was like, "Jeez, okay,
Wow.
here we are. This is the show, I guess."
And we
And-
didn't get there till later because we literally just won these tickets.
We got the tickets at 6:15.
Yes.
Game starts at 8. So
8.
we had to. We're dressed for inside,
Yeah. I was wearing a T-shirt and a bunny hug.
so we had to come back here and get all geared
Geared
up
up.
and get over there, park and walk and find our gate, which wasn't as easy as it probably should have been. And so got in eventually after getting to walk
We
through.
rolled in at like 10 after 8, and the game literally, as we sat down to our seat, they sung "O Canada," did the flyby.
Yeah, we didn't get a lot of time to
Take it
absorb
in.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
before the game was starting.
And that flyby, if you guys weren't there, wow,
Yeah.
that was loud.
It was
It was not the Snowbirds, you could tell.
no
CF-18
this was-
Hornets.
military
Yeah,
death machine loud. Yeah, it was crazy.
that was impressive.
Yeah. So on our way to the lounge, you get into the first AGT lounge, and it's
You actually
like,
walk in the lounge, and you got to walk out to the seats.
yeah. But we were going, and then we're in the first kind of section, and there they have a normal concession,
Right. Yeah.
right? They have to pay for,
Yeah.
and then I'm like going, and like, oh, our section's not in here, and I'm like, and then there's a next one. And it's like one little door with a guy standing there checking your ticket as you go in, and I like show it to him. He's like, yep. I'm like, okay, I guess we're in here.
Yeah. So we walked through there and sat down outside on our seat.
Outside, yeah, which is
Game was
fine.
starting
Like,
right away.
like nice seats, padded seats. It's game starting. We're sitting there, and I mean, I hardly absorbed this game because there was just so much. It was, I think, the excitement of winning the tickets, where we were sitting,
Rush to the game.
kind of that stress in the line. I felt like this. I haven't absorbed it yet, and I do have it recorded, so I'm going to watch the game, so I can actually just watch the game because it felt like it went by so fast. And I think that's what it's like if you go to like a Super Bowl or a Stanley Cup game. It probably just goes by like a blink because it's just something special, right?
Yeah.
So we're sitting there. We didn't really take note of the lounge part.
No, we just
When we
walked
first
through
came in,
because the game
The
was
game was
starting
about
right
to start, so we didn't want to be,
away. We came
those
here for the
people.
game.
Yeah, we came to see the game. Now we have tickets. So we're sitting there, and there's not a lot of people in our section. I'm like, maybe they're in there just warming up. Who cares? And I'm thinking, I kind of thought, what's going on? Like, this guy in front of us orders a drink. She comes and just hands it to him. And I said to Chris, I think drinks are free here. And I was like, I was going to ask her, because then we were sitting there, actually, and she came to me and said, are your drinks okay? Are you good for drinks? Something like that. And I thought, oh, she's asking for ticket stubs because we don't look like we should be here. We don't fit in with this crowd. This is the 1% up here.
Yeah.
And it's not us. And so I thought she was asking for our ticket stub. No, she asked if our drinks were okay. And at this point, I didn't realize they were on the house.
Yeah, I
and,
literally had $20 in my pocket, and I
well,
was
maybe
like,
we'll buy one. Yeah.
yeah, right. So I'm like, oh, I don't drink much.
No,
And-
not that we need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, no, well, yeah, maybe I'll grab a drink at intermission, right? Well, we'll wait. We'll watch the first period and go and grab a drink.
Yeah. Yeah. So we go in, first intermission. The first period went by like nothing. It was like,
Zoom by.
okay. So we go in. The bar, there wasn't really a line for the bar either. That was another thing. Like, well, if it was free drinks, there'd be people lined up for a mile, right?
Yeah.
So go up and then I say,
I ordered 2 Stella.
yeah, and all they had was Bud, and then they had Stella. So we're going for Stellas.
Yeah. So I
So
said,
2 Stella, and then he looks at me like,
what
well,
do you want?
Like, implying that Chris wanted to
2.
double fist it. So he gives us our Stella, says, cheers, boys, and I kind of like took my beer and put a tip in, and I was
Yeah.
like walking. I was waiting for him to be
cool.
like, okay, $18, like, or something,
Yeah.
right? But no, they were totally comped, and then we're like, just kind of absorbing all of this,
Looking
like what's
around.
going on. And then we go back, and there's these food tables are unbelievable. The food there, they've like, I'm gonna say a taco bar, but it wasn't like Taco Bell taco bar. It was like
Yeah.
nice food, nice pizza. They had this Japanese food. They had sashimi. So anyone that eats sushi, like, sashimi is just the fish. The quality of the fish has to be so high. So they had tuna sashimi. They had other Japanese food that I didn't even really look at. They
Yeah.
had popcorn bar, and
Then
they
wings
had
and the burgers,
wings
sliders.
and burgers, sliders, like sirloin sliders. And I was just like, it was,
Then the dessert area.
oh my God, yeah. All these little Saskatoon berry tarts and
Yeah.
free, just coolers of the drinks like pops and waters and juices, and
Yeah. Unreal.
it was odd. Like, you're thinking, and we're sitting there, and the mayor's there, the premier's there. There's a lot of
Hoity-toities.
hoity-toities and important people, and it was odd. Hey, it was. At one point, we tried. So at the end of the first intermission, we got another Stella. Thought, well, we'll go sit in our seats and watch this. And the guy says, no, you can't take glass out because it was in the bottle. So like, oh, okay, we'll sit in here for a bit and watch. And I think, so we're watching the second period, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, no one else is watching this game.
No.
There's a few hundred people in here, and maybe
A dozen.
Thomas Steen's sitting in front of us.
Yeah.
He's on his phone texting. People getting pictures with him and stuff. I think Lanny McDonald was up in there too.
Yeah.
But nobody's watching this game. And it's like, well, I wanted to finish this beer and get back out there. Because by the time we got back out there, the Budweiser reps, they were watching. They were having a good time.
Yeah. The guys.
There's a
that
bunch
got
of younger
Bud
guys.
tickets or.
I think because they were cheering anytime there was
The Bud.
Budweiser mentioned. I think
Yeah.
they probably worked for them, and
Yeah.
they were having
Agreed.
quite a great time.
Yeah. And they were out there watching the
they
game.
were having fun. Other people in front of us were so oblivious to the game. They would just get up in the middle of like a power play. Like, anyone that's a sports fan knows some of the ethics, or the, what's the word?
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't get up in the middle of the play.
Well, they sat the whole that one time. They sat the whole break and got up as soon as the play
As
started.
soon as the linesman drops the puck,
6
they stand
women
up and
stand
go
up.
get. Are you freaking kidding me?
And
Like,
those
you
are the
have
ones that
no
were like
idea.
double fisted, and they're walking
Yeah,
back
and they're doing the selfie thing. I mean, we took a selfie too, but they were like,
in the middle of the play. Yeah.
it was. They were so
Yeah. The etiquette.
etiquette. That's the word I was
Yeah.
looking for. They had no
No clue.
clue. We started beaking them a little bit, but the thing was, you could move. We
Yeah,
moved. You could
there's
sit.
lots of empty
yeah, there's
seats. You
lots
could
of
sit wherever
seats
you
outside
want.
because everyone was inside
Yeah.
eating chicken wings and.
Yeah.
So I mean,
But yeah, it was a good experience.
here we are. We went from maybe let's go to this Sirius XM thing.
We
Okay,
almost didn't
sure.
go, yeah.
There's an open bar. Okay, we'll give it a shot here.
Yeah.
And to sitting in the 1% lounge.
Yeah.
And it was still pretty excited from it, to be honest. It was hard getting to sleep last night. It was a really fun experience. It just sort of fell on our lap, and I feel kind of fortunate about it and thankful it happened.
Yeah.
I texted my wife at one point. I was like, I felt like I won the lottery. Like this was, and we said the only thing, not to be greedy, but would have been just an unbelievable part was if we win the 50-50
Yeah,
on
I
top
spent
of it.
my $20 in the 50-50.
Yeah, that's the only money we spent.
$20.
And the nice thing about that 50-50 that we found out, it went to the Cougars, not the Rams.
Yeah.
Cougars hockey, who could
Needs
use a
some
little
help.
boost right now.
Maybe that helped
They've
the
gone-
recruiting budget, and they can bring in some more guys, some better guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder. Yeah.
But overall, the game, it was
It wasn't the most
it wasn't
exciting
a
game.
great, it was an exciting game. About 10 minutes left in the third after Winnipeg got the penalty and then got the subsequent goal from that. Or I should say that they got the power play from the penalty. Yeah. They got the goal from that. Then it started to pick up a little bit. You could feel the energy picking up. And it really, that little just... Because I go to football games, yeah, there's a lot of energy, but it's like... It's peaks, right? And you can kind of tell when it's going to come because it's when you're on defense, it's going to get loud and it's... Then it goes back up. And then,
Yeah.
Whereas hockey...
It kind of builds.
It's so dynamic, and it can come quickly, or it can kind of build when they get the penalty. And I was like, oh, I want to be at a game with 30,000 people. Just that energy, like a good hockey game. I was like, oh, damn it, no, I want to go to an NHL game, like a good one. But the thing is, they could be duds too. You could show up and it just suck, and I spent how much money getting here and the ticket and this and that. But
yeah, it ended up being a good finish. Exciting.
Oh, a
finish.
lot of fun.
Yeah,
a lot of fun. The last 10 minutes was good. They tied it up, and then overtime.
Nice goal in overtime.
Yeah, how it was great. I was happy we could do it, and it was fun to just sort of go with it and kind of roll with just being there and kind of And I was thinking back, I would not have done what I did, like yelling at Matthew Barnaby, if it wasn't for this, because I would have just sat in the back and been like,
Yeah.
But
even my boss, in one of their breaks, my boss is like, "Hey, these guys do Pat's podcast."
So
he's throwing it out there,
yeah,
and then we went up, got pictures, and we're like, "Yeah, we're used to being on the mic with you guys." And he's like, "Yeah, you guys, good job." And all this.
So we got that kind of first talk with Matthew Barnaby, and that's what kind of prompted me then to
because
get that question going.
They threw out the. You could ask any questions, even before they were giving away the tickets. They're like, "Yeah, come up, ask us any questions." And there's a few people came up, asked some questions, and so it was a really neat just to watch the show, right?
Yeah.
But
anything else you want to talk about that game?
I don't think so.
No, it was a awesome experience. It was kind of a fun story to tell.
Yeah.
I complain on this show that I never actually win anything, and
we
never win jersey draws or anything like this. And this wasn't like a draw or anything, but it was still I was given these tickets. Kind of
we had to work a little bit for it. We weren't just giving them away.
Yeah. So I
it
can't
was good.
complain too much about that now.
Turned into a great night.
Yeah, it really was. Before we do sign off, though, we have to give a shout out to Team Sask here at the WHL Cup. Kind of nice to see. It was refreshing to see non-Alberta and BC in the final. So it was Team Sask and Manitoba.
Yeah, it's a bit of an underdog story there.
Yeah, and we ended up with the win this afternoon. Unfortunately, going on, I don't think it was on any Facebook Live or nothing like that. And Saskatchewan won that. So we Carter Cormier with Team Sask, part of that team. So
and
congrats to him.
Keeper was with Manitoba, but he didn't dress for the game. I looked at the score sheet. He didn't dress.
Yeah, he was on the team, but
so silver for them. And I don't know what the stats are, but I know that Alberta, BC kind of dominate this, and so it's a bit of a upset, I guess.
That's awesome. Well, in interest of time here, thanks for listening to our story. It's kind of exciting to be part of, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Leading into next week, we have a road game in PA on the Friday, then back here on Sunday against Red Deer. So, tough game in PA.
Yeah, hopefully they can do a little better than last time.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Strush is happy with the way the team's playing. A few new pieces in there. Maybe that's enough to shake it up, get Max Pack nice and healthy.
Another whole kind of week off here almost, right?
Yeah. We've had a generous schedule here the last little bit. It's been it's nice. You work on some things, get healthy, get the mindset right after kind of taking some beatings. And then on we actually have to flip the calendar now. And then Red Deer at home on the Sunday. A nice afternoon game against another winnable game. I mean, that was the team we beat. Came back down 4-1. Came back and beat them. So
Yeah, that hopefully we can get another win there.
well, 2 games in a row now with points. Who knows? Maybe we can get 2 or 3 points out of this weekend.
Yeah, 3 would be real nice, but I don't know if that'll happen.
Yeah, let's shoot high.
We'll see what happens. Yeah,
Shoot high.
and then hopefully we can get a win over against Red Deer here. Go for that.
Yeah,
and we need some wins here. We're lacking here. Even PG, they're up to 4 wins already.
Swift's at
3.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're
PG just upset Vancouver in Vancouver today.
Yeah.
So that's a big win for them.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get some points here. Anyways, it's a great weekend.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, we will wrap this up and see you guys at the rink on Sunday.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Good night.